Hello and welcome to this edition of 101 with Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett. I'm Lorna Virgili and thank you for joining us. Mr. Leggett, welcome back.
Thank
Here
you
we
for
are
having
again.
me.
Second taping of 2013.
Yes.
It's been very busy in Montgomery County, especially recently you addressed almost 700 county residents in your State of the County speech. And it was approximately 40 minutes long, so can you give us a short synopsis to get us started?
Well, first of all, is to acknowledge, in my opinion, and I think for any objective analysis of this, that the county comparatively is in much better position in our state as related to the state of the county. Is very good comparative, especially when you consider the challenges we've had in the past, the things that we've done in the county to sort of correct those, and where we see the county headed into the foreseeable future. So, in summary, the overall state of the county, I think, is very good.
You did mention that during the last 6 years of your tenure as county executive, the county has weathered almost a perfect economic storm.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, it means a number of things. First of all, we found some very difficult challenges even before the national recession commenced. That is that we were really spending far too much, and the budgets prior to my arrival were simply unsustainable. And if you look at the 4 years prior to my arrival, the last 4 years of the previous administration, the county budgets cumulatively had increased by 42%. That's an unsustainable number. Then if you look at the next 4 years, the same budget, tax-supported budget, for 4 years increased by 0. That's a huge turnaround. That was made possible by a number of things, very tough decisions. For example, we eliminated approximately 10% of our entire workforce. We reduced contributions to the employees' health and pension contributions. We eliminated COLAs and furloughed county employees for a number of years. It was an awful lot of tough things that we've done. We reduced programs and services literally across the board. Now we see that those decisions are beginning to pay off. We see that our employment rate is going up, unemployment has gone down. We see that our taxes are coming up again. We see that more and more constructions are happening in the county. And when you look at all of the indicators about the county and you measure them in an objective way, you see significant improvements. But to get there was not easy. I used the term shared sacrifice, meaning that the county employees gave up an awful lot, meaning that they had to work harder with fewer people and earn less money. It meant that the county residents had to sacrifice. They paid a little bit more in taxes and revenues, and by all indications, got a little bit less in service. And I am willing to admit that we provided a little less in service and you paid a little bit more. But those are the kinds of tough decisions and the honest approach to the budget that I want people to be engaged in so they understand that and respect that, even though people may disagree with some aspects of the budget and the approaches that we've taken over the last 5 or 6 years.
Now, you did mention 6 goals and 3 new initiatives that you did announce at your State of the County address. About the goals: thriving economy, trained and skilled workforce in Montgomery County, affordable home ownership, efficient transportation, healthy communities, and better government. How it's possible to do all of that in the next few years?
Well, remarkable. If you go back and look at each one of those areas, you will see significant improvement already. There's one area, of course, that I indicated that we have not fared as well, and that is transportation. We have a real concern, and that concern really engulfs the entire state of Maryland. Many years ago, I advocated for an increase in the state's gasoline tax. And the reason why I indicated that was because, A, we had enormous competition for Virginia and their ability to move forward to resolve their transportation challenges. I thought that the state's transportation trust fund would go broke. I believe that it would hamper our ability to provide the kind of economic development at the local level. And if we did not act sooner, then those very same projects would cost much more later on. Well, guess what? After 5 or 6 years, after fighting through all of that, everything that I predicted has in fact happened. We're doing our part here in Montgomery County, but unfortunately we have little help and support from the state to resolve these major transportation challenges. When I say that, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the purple line here between Bethesda and New Carrollton. I'm talking about the Carter City Transit Way that will go along 270. I'm talking about bus rapid transit in the county. Those are three areas that we must provide some traffic relief through. And if we're not able to do that, it will hamper the county long term in terms of our ability to provide the kind of traffic grid changes that we need in order for many of those development projects to go forward. We have three major development projects in the county that I think will be hampered by that. In White Flint, in the Science Corridor in the Gaithersburg, Germantown area, and in the White Oak area. If we're not able to go forward and provide the transportation relief, those three areas will suffer. Right now, they are planned to create somewhere in the neighborhood collectively about 100,000 high-paying jobs, and we simply cannot afford not to be able to advance those things.
Talking about transportation, since we transitioned into that topic, recently you did testify in Annapolis, obviously, in support of the state gas tax increase. We've spoken with the Lieutenant Governor who was present at your State of the County address, and it sounds like it's going to be quite a challenge in Annapolis. What do you think about that?
Well, it's always a challenge. It wasn't popular when I first mentioned it 5 years ago. It is not popular now, but at some point you have to do the courageous thing. You have to do the right thing, and it is time for us to step forward, set politics aside, and do what is right for the entire state of Maryland. We cannot continue to kick this can down the road, and we cannot bury our head in the sand and presume that these problems will go away. If we don't do it now, we will eventually do it, in my opinion. The question is, have we waited too long? It costs too much more in order to do it, but at some point we'll do it. You might as well do it now.
Okay, we're going to take a short break right now, and we'll be back with Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett, who is talking about the state of this county. We'll be right back.
If it wasn't for his doctor, he wouldn't be here.
If it weren't for Montgomery County Fire and Rescue, he wouldn't be here.
If it wasn't for the phone call, we wouldn't have been there.
If I didn't call, I don't know where we would be.
Montgomery County emergency responders are there when you need help at no cost to you. In an emergency, don't ever hesitate to call 911. If you live in Montgomery County, you will never get a bill or pay a dime.
So if you have an emergency, call us. We're there for you.
Here we go. We're gonna make some juice.
It's gonna be good.
She's excited. A little bit of kale.
Please don't put this on line.
I'm putting it all over the line.
It's wet. It needs something. No, it'll go.
Don't break my juicer. Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Come on, baby.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
Okay, all right.
They might surprise you.
She took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Did you know there are more than 10,000 county government phone numbers? But there's only one number you need to remember for non-emergency calls, 311. MC311 is Montgomery County government's online telephone information system. Need information? Have a problem or complaint? Trying to locate a county government facility? Call 311. The call center is open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The website is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Welcome back to One on One with Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett. I'm Lorna Virgili. Thank you for joining us. And we're talking about the state of the county. You delivered that speech recently. Let's talk about the initiatives that you did launch on that specific day. Montgomery is open for business. What is that?
Well, I think I've said Montgomery is open to business, and we're open for business. A recognition that business is important in Montgomery County. sustainable growth is important to Montgomery County. And underline the word sustainable. That is to grow where we have the adequate transportation, we have the environmental concerns that have been provided, and that it provides the jobs and resources that the county needs. That helps the entire county. Now, one of the challenges we have in Montgomery County is that the development process in this county, I think, is too complicated, is fragmented, and way, way too expensive. We are doing things now that I think that we can do much better. One of the areas that we've looked at over the last few years, the last year at least, is to develop the recommendation of about 60 different changes that we've already started to make. Those changes, when fully implemented, will reduce the development process and construction by almost 1 year. That's a huge reduction. And what does that mean? When you have that type of reduction, it means that projects are approved sooner, it means that jobs come faster, and it means that your tax base grows faster because you don't have to carry construction loans longer. You do not have to worry about some of the legal and engineering fees that you pay. The process moves faster. And so I wanted us to move that in that direction. But that's not where we end, because I believe there's some major challenges that are still out there, not so much with county government, but with many of the outside agencies. For example, we have 3 separate transportation reviews, 3 separate environmental reviews. I think that when you look at that process, that's somewhat redundant, costly, and things that we can eliminate. But what happens when you approach this, everyone begins to become somewhat parochial. That is to provide sort of turf protection and not want to give up certain things. And I think that's wrong. We have to come back to the table and say, we can reduce some of the cost, some of the complexity and redundancy in this process. That's number one.
That's number one. There are 2 others, so we're
Yeah.
going to go down the line. You did mention, obviously, after the 2010 census, Montgomery County is a minority-majority county, and the diversity of the county is just incredible. English language on demand, especially for adults, making sure that people that want to learn English in the county, that they do have access to those resources. How is that going to be physically implemented?
Well, first of all, there's a myth out there that some people, especially those who speak Spanish, do not want to assimilate and do not want to speak English. That's not the experience that I've seen. They are looking for help and support. We have a very strong language network of volunteers and supporters in the county that are available to help people who want to speak English. And the reason that is so is because we believe strongly that as you speak English, it provides you with a better ability to communicate, a better ability to get better jobs that enhances our tax base. It has been shown that for every $1 that you invest in helping those to learn English, it produces $4 or $3.50 in return. And so it's an investment for us that everyone is able to communicate effectively so that they can be a part of this local economy, help their kids in schools, and a number of other things. And so we want to push that forward. But this idea, notion that people do not want to learn English and they prefer to simply speak their native language is not borne out by the long waiting list of people who are simply in line trying to get into these courses. Through our volunteer network and through the support of some of the organizations that we've supported, we want to reduce or eliminate in time many of those waiting lists and get that productivity that I think comes with people who are speaking English and doing so in a way that makes it very productive for the entire county.
Let me just, circling back on that, just give you an example. Recently, we did promote the English classes as a second language on the county's Spanish language radio show, and the classes were automatically filled.
Yeah.
They really had to turn back a few people that could have been taking the classes at the Gilchrist Center.
Yeah.
So that's just one example of what's going on out there. Third initiative, the Partnership for Educational Achievement, basically to make sure to help expand educational opportunities for all students in Montgomery County, especially those that are underperforming, and expanding, obviously, Excel Beyond the Bell to all middle schools in the county. That's number 3, right?
Yes. If you look at the county, we have 150,000 students, a very large school system. And if you look at all indicators, the Montgomery County Public School System, for a large system, virtually outperforms anyone in the entire country. It means that we have done a very good job for most students in our system. Unfortunately, there are a number of students that are underperforming, and there is an achievement gap that we need to close. Now, how do you do that? Well, we have to work much more cooperatively with our school system to be in a better partnership. There are things that we are doing now to help the system, but I think that we could do more. And that is by providing the programs and services that reduces the conflict and the challenges that many of the school systems have with students who are not able to perform. Students who are struggling at home, students who have challenges in their communities and a variety of areas are simply not well prepared to come to school and to engage in a rigorous, competitive kind of process. So we want to reduce much of that stress. So Excel Beyond the Bell provides some relief for after school, enriching programs where kids are not coming home to empty homes and getting in trouble between 4 and 7 in the evening when there are no parents there. It provides enrichment programs so they can get engaged in athletics and cooking and a variety of other skills. We have the model that is out there that I think works very well. We have a Kennedy cluster model that looks at some of the family problems and pressures. We have a variety of programs and services that are there. What we need to do is to enhance those programs and expand them in such a way that we can get to more of those middle school kids. And the program, the initiative that I've advanced is that we will try to fund over a period of time a methodology so that we can reduce the long waiting list for these very popular programs that, in my opinion, will help reduce that achievement gap that we see in our system.
Let me ask you this. Do you know if within the curriculum for Excel Beyond the Bell, they provide SAT preparation for students?
I'm not sure that. I think there's
Okay.
some of that in there, and there are a number of other programs that they provide in there as well. But it's very enriching to students in terms of their ability to learn throughout the process, and some during the summer months as well. And that reduces that gap that I've talked about. So there are a number of things that try to enrich the students, both in terms of consuming their time with wholesome activities in the afternoon, as well as helping them with some of the rigorous challenges they have in terms of academic performance.
All right, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about that one budget that you're getting ready to submit on March 15th to County Council. Don't go away. We'll be right back with Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett.
Montgomery County 911.
I just saw a car crash.
If you ever have an emergency, be glad you're in Montgomery County. Thanks to the ambulance transport law, the county has more money to cut response times. Buy new ambulances and fire engines and hire more paramedics and firefighters. In an emergency, don't ever hesitate to call 911. If you live in Montgomery County, you will never get a bill or pay a dime. Hopefully, you'll never need to call Montgomery County Fire and Rescue, but if you do, we're there for you.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Are you sure they can recycle us, Clamshell?
Hey, Dome, we're on a new recycling postcard.
I can't wait to make a new start. Maybe I'll be a red carpet at a big premiere.
And I'll get to paint the White House.
Shh, here he comes.
Now you can recycle more plastics in Montgomery County, including #1 PET plastics such as clamshells, deli containers, trays, lids, domes, and cups.
We're in!
For more information on recycling, contact the Montgomery County, Maryland Division of Solid Waste Services at 311. The wait is over. Recycle more plastics today.
There's a reason why area law enforcement are out enforcing pedestrian and traffic safety laws and preventing killer pedestrian crashes. Be alert. Be street smart.
Welcome back to this very last segment of 101 with Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett. I'm Lorna Virgili. Thank you for joining us. And we were talking about the State of the County address. For those of you who did miss the speech, let us tell you that it is actually a PDF format on the county's website, and also you can watch the video. So do log on to montgomerycountymd.gov so that you can get the state of the county address from the county executive. Let's transition into the budget. You've been working on it for the last few months. And
I mean, the budget's been working on me.
That's a good way to put it. It's good. You see, you're still happy even though you're dealing with this. This budget that has been working on you, what are the expectations? We know we've spoken about it before, but there are other factors involved, perhaps some pay increase for county employees, union employees, sequestration from the federal government. So the challenges have evolved since we first spoke about it.
Let's look at the broader picture first. On one hand, we have the federal government engaged in the continuation of the budget challenges that provides a level of uncertainty and potentially very drastic budget cuts. Now, this comes at a time when we are now beginning to emerge from the challenges of the national recession in Montgomery County, and after we've taken some very, very tough but correct decisions over the last few years. And so it's an irony that we have these sort of conflicting things that are happening. But when we look at the budget today, the budget that I had basically followed the following approach. That is to make modest adjustments as we come out of the recession and not go too far. There's one area in which we are looking very seriously at in terms of negotiations, that we are making somewhat of an increase, and I think people need to understand that. The headlines have been flapping about like 13% increase. No, that's not 1 year. That's 13% over a couple of years and so forth. Secondly, you have to keep in mind that we eliminated the basic pay scale that calls for the normal step increases for seniority. That is being simply reinstated in. And we're providing, on an annual basis, this, at least for FY14, about a 2.9% COLA, cost of living adjustment. Now, why is that the case? First of all, if you look at what we've done in the last few years, for 4 years, we have not provided cost of living adjustment for our employees. We eliminated the step or the salary scales that provided for longevity. We increased their costs for health care and retirement benefits. We eliminated 10% of the entire workforce, so they're working longer and harder and so forth as a result of that. All of those things over a period of time places us in a very, very difficult position in terms of our county employees compared to others in the area. So currently, as you go through the collective bargaining process, you will see, for example, that the school system provided raises for their employees, which we had nothing to do with. Prince George's County, through their police and I think their fire personnel, got raises that for 1 year, cumulative, going back to probably about as high as 12%. Right now, the state of Maryland is providing basically about a 6% increase if you include the seniority or the step or the merit increases accordingly. They've got a 3% increase plus a step or merit increase. So when you look at the collective bargaining process, I don't think that there was any way that the county could have prevailed under the law, providing less than what we provided. The options were much higher. There are some legal opinions out there that would challenge what I've done in the past, that is to walk away from collective bargaining process. We would have lost, in my opinion, an arbitrated decision, and therefore I think we would have been paying 2 or 3 times more than what we are doing now. So you have to look at that in that context, and once you do on a fair and objective basis, I think that what we provided is really a very sound basis for the decision that I made.
Now, regarding these pay raises, and here's what Phil Andrews, council member, has to say, and I'm going to quote this. He says it's not sustainable and would create over $40 million in the next 2 years that would compete with important services.
Well, that's the obvious, that always any decision that you make compete with important services, providing a salary increase for our employees who deliver those services. So that's sort of ridiculous to make that kind of statement. Secondly, if you look at the options and follow his advice, we're probably paying 2 or 3 times more than we have on the table. Thirdly, I think that he's failed to look at and advance in his arguments the very tough decisions that I've made, decisions that have been unprecedented. That is, for a county executive to literally walk away in a legal battle and take its own unions to court and not respond to an arbitrated decision. I think that demonstrates very carefully that we've managed the budgets very well. We've had some very difficult challenges as it relates to collective bargaining. There are many times when the people in the labor unions have been fighting me about all of this, have demonstrations at my house, at my office, really outraged about the decisions that we've made. Those are the right decisions. Now, we followed his advice and go through this and did less than that and go through the arbitrated process, end up in court. my opinion is that we would be paying 3 to 4 times more than what we provided. So I think he needs to look at that and evaluate what he's saying rather than to respond to this in a way without the kind of substance that I think this analysis should provide. And by the way, as I've seen that, he's the only person, at least in elective office around here, that have advocated those kinds of positions. No one else that I know of suggested that because I think they're looking at it much fairer.
Let's circle back to the federal sequestration. Yourself, Executive Baker from Prince George's County and Executive Ullman from Howard County urged Congress to act immediately. The list of the impact in this region, it's enormous. But specifically for Montgomery County, what we would see immediately?
Well, first of all, we have 47,000 federal employees in Montgomery County. And if they are forced to take unpaid leave, they could rise as to high as 28 days per year. Each day in Montgomery County, in terms of its impact on our tax revenue, the income tax revenue, will cost Montgomery County about $500,000 a day. So potentially that's $10 million to county government right there. But there's a ripple effect with all of the programs and services from housing, schools, that over the period of time you would see a huge downturn that would affect our economy, not just federal employees and the people who work for federal contractors, but from restaurants, car renters, hotels, motels, you name it, all would be adversely affected. All of it does not start on March the 1st, but some of it has already started, and that will continue to build up. It will have a devastating impact on Montgomery County.
All right, we have just a few seconds left of the show. Very briefly, gun control. Recently, Lieutenant Governor Anthony Brown was here in the county. It was a public forum just for county residents to talk about the measures that are taking up in Annapolis. And obviously there was a lot of discontent with what's going on in Annapolis from Montgomery County residents against it.
Well, I think that people need to recognize what we're talking about. We're not talking about gun control. We're talking about gun registration, which is far different. I served in the military. I served in the infantry. I know the use of weapons, and I understand that, and I fully support the Second Amendment. But in my opinion, to have an unlimited ability to go out and virtually buy any kind of assault weapon that you want with unlimited rounds that basically are rounds not necessarily for hunting and target shooting, but literally to maim and kill, to me is unacceptable.
All right, Mr. Leggett, thank you for joining us again today. We'll see you next month. And reminding you, for any information regarding Montgomery County, always visit our website, montgomerycountymd.gov. I'm Lorna Virgili, and thank you for watching.